This video, I'm going to be showing you how to harness your energy to create a quantum shift in reality. Once you watch this video, you'll know exactly how to do it, and then there's no going back. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to quantum shift to a new reality, understanding first off that this is already happening naturally. We're already shifting through different realities because what we think of time is the movement through different parallel realities. There is something called the space of variations, as you may have heard about it from the book Reality Transurfing, or the infinite number of parallel realities that exist. And what happens is we are so fluidly moving through these realities that we don't even know we're doing it. And to understand this, think of this like a film projector. Think of it like there are so many different frames in a film projector. They are going so fast that it looks like one long fluid movement. But if we were to stretch out those frames, we would see that we could cut out one frame and then see another frame, and then they're two separate frames. In the same way, every reality that we see any change in at all is a totally separate reality. So this is about understanding that what quantum physics is showing us is that everything exists here and now. It's just a different frame of reality that we are perceiving of. So when we talk about this, this makes it so much easier, because then we see that creating any shift isn't hard because it's already happening naturally. It is a natural byproduct for the way reality works. It's also the idea of the law of attraction. We talk about the law of attraction. You don't have to learn how to attract what you want. You just have to learn how, well, you don't have to learn how to attract in general. You're always getting something. It's just you want to learn how to attract more of what you want, because there could even be negative manifestations, and it's still a manifestation as well. So this is about understanding the process and getting more of what you want to experience, or creating a greater degree of change, which is what a quantum shift is. So the idea is that most of us are on autopilot. We're thinking the same thoughts every day, we're feeling the same emotions every day, we're doing the same things every day. Therefore, we're shifting to a similar reality over and over and over again. And here's the thing, even though it appears to be similar, they're all completely different realities. It's just that we may be locked into certain patterns that continue to play themselves out. So you might go to work one day, have a similar conversation with someone, help customers or whatever it is that you go to work for, and then the next day it may be similar but still a little bit different, but there's a similar thread, a similar like autopilot way of being that keeps on autopilot, kind of like Groundhog's Day. So the key is knowing that you're already shifting whether you're aware of it or not. And what we think of as that of time is the movement through different realities. So this right here, right now, there are many different realities that are involved. And when you say infinite parallel realities, think of it like this. This is from my perception right now of me going like this. However, imagine there's all these little flies like flying around. Imagine a couple of those flies go in a little bit different direction. Well, each individual fly that's going in a different direction is a completely separate reality in relation to where I am at right now. So billions of parallel realities are around us that we are constantly shifting through. It's just that we can only perceive of the realities that are equal to our own vibration. Like quantum physics and science shows us anyways, is our brain can only pick up on so much information. What happens is our mind tones out a majority of the information around us to the information that is relatable, that is relevant to us. So we perceive that which we are the vibration of. Now, here is the thing with creating a quantum shift in reality and harnessing your energy for it. There's a certain energy momentum that you have with the energy that you've been putting out and the reality that you've been getting. And your reality has been equal to how you think, feel, and act. You go to work the same day, you may tell yourself a story that you have to go to that job. You may tell yourself a story that you act a certain way when you're around people. And because that's been on autopilot, it continues to be the energy momentum because it's on repetition. Now, if you want to create a quantum shift from one reality to a completely new reality, what you must first off do is become aware of the vision for what that reality is. So if you were taking notes right now, I'd say create that vision. The vision for who you want to be. This is what I did in many different ways in my life, to where now I'm living a lifestyle where it's pretty cool. You know, there's a cool view behind me. There's a nice little, you know, I used to dream about this life. I used to have a vision for this lifestyle. I used to say one day I want to make videos of the most beautiful places in the world. And that's what I do now. But I had a vision of it. And then what I did is I looked at that vision, that version of me. And then what you do is with that version of you, you realize that your energy for the current reality has been harnessed in such a way. There's a certain energy that you put towards your daily habits. There's a certain energy you put towards your body physique. A certain energy you put towards your relationships. There's a certain energy you put towards many different aspects of your life. But then what you do is you become aware of the energy momentum you have. Awareness is normally always the first step to all of this. Then what you do is you become aware of the energy that you have in this other version of you. Realizing first off, this other version of you does exist. If you can imagine it, it exists. Now whether you make that probable or not will depend upon how much you cultivate your energy from here to here. So this version of you, imagine the version of you I imagine the version of me that was traveling the world, making videos in amazing places. I imagine my body language, how I would carry myself, my daily habits. One part of those daily habits was every day I get up early in the morning. Right now it's like 6 in the morning, and I'm making a video. That was the habit that I knew that if I started to make in this reality would eventually, in a way, trail over to this reality. It would kind of trickle over. So what are your daily habits like? What are the kind of books that you read? What are the kind of conversations you have? What are the kind of people you surround yourself with? What are the kind of food you eat? You eat food that gives you energy. Pay attention to this version of you, this ideal version of you, and how you act, feel, and think. Now what you must do is create a bridge from this reality to this reality. And that bridge is the intention. It is the choice. The choice you make about who you are. And what I did is I simply made that choice. This is who I am now. I am the kind of person that has the abundance to travel the world and do what I love and live wherever I want to live. So I made that choice when I was over here, when I was working that 9-to-5 job I didn't care about. And what I did is I simply took on the identity of this version of me. I had to first off become aware of the identity I had. The identity I had was I had to work a 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, doing something I wasn't passionate about. I became aware of that identity. I observed it. And then I said, does this serve me? Is this what I prefer? And what I started to do is realize that at a certain point in my past, I agreed that that's where I wanted my energy to go. I agreed that that's who I am. And didn't just remain on autopilot. I told myself the story. Got to go to work, got to pay the bills, got to do this, got to do that. Then I started telling myself and realized I just need to make a quantum shift. That quantum shift was a big choice. For me, you probably know the story. I know I tell it all the time, but I made the choice. I'm going to make a video every single day on YouTube until I'm a full-time YouTuber. And at first, there was nobody watching. It was just me making videos. And then eventually, over time, things started to grow. It took 3 or 4 weeks for a video to pop, and from there, things started growing much faster. So the reason I share this with you is because if you want to create a quantum shift, you have to make a big change, a big choice, a quantum shift. A quantum shift is a big shift. It is a totally new, separate reality. And the way that you make this choice is you identify, you create the vision for this version of you. You realize your thought patterns. You realize your belief systems. You just pay attention to this. You do it in imagination. One of the most powerful meditations I've ever made is a meditation for shifting to a new parallel reality. I'll go ahead and link it below. It's on shifting to a parallel reality. Just read the comments to see what's possible, because that will also increase your belief that you can have a similar experience. But people have had some of the most profound experiences. So profound, I had somebody who traveled to my buddy Victor. He had a retreat in Sedona, and he told people at that retreat and the people that were going to that retreat that I may be speaking there. And I went to speak there on one of the last days, and there was somebody that came up to me that said that it was my parallel reality meditation that allowed her to go from being paralyzed, not able to walk. Doctors told her she would never walk again. She didn't believe them. She did this meditation that was on that of the parallel reality meditation, which has to do with walking into a new parallel reality. And she said that from doing that meditation, now she can walk. She's walking around with crutches, but she's walking, something doctors told her she would never do. And that's when it really hit me, that meditation is a very powerful bridge for us creating the kind of reality that we want. And that meditation is in the top of the description box below. Listen to it for 21 days and watch how your life changes. You see, this is why we tell ourselves a certain story, a certain way we're being. It's on autopilot. But then something like a meditation can show us through metaphor, through energy, that then you walk into a new parallel reality, then that is who you are now and there's no going back. It allows you to drop your old story to be a new version of you. It's exactly what that meditation does. This is for 21 days. I think it'll change your life. But the idea behind this is you want to create a quantum shift. And a quantum shift will have to know also, when it comes to quantum shift, when you're here and you're visualizing this version of you here, make sure that visualization is quite different than the one over here. Make it quantum. Make it a big difference. For me, that was working a 9-to-5 job than doing what I love. I used to have ADHD, not able to focus, and then I started to create this new version of me that was able to meditate. And now I'm known as somebody, people say that they meditate because of my meditations or because of my lifestyle or because so it's incredible how different you can be. And people, when I went through my spiritual awakening, people would tell you that after my spiritual awakening, I'm a completely different person. It was a quantum shift. And the way I created that quantum shift is I had a new vision. And I let go of the old story, I let go of the old identity. I simply decided, this is who I am now. And that's the key to this whole process. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the unknown. Stepping into the unknown. Something I've heard a lot from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And the idea is that how you think, how you feel, and act, it's within a little reality bubble. It's on autopilot. And if you want to create miracles, the only way that you're going to create a miracle is by getting outside of that bubble. Because when you're in the unknown, then you can create things from a new level of probabilities. When you're in the known, you're just in the autopilot mind. You're in the familiar territory. You got to step into the unknown to then become a part of a new energy system where anything can happen. You see? So step into uncertainty. For me, making a daily video on YouTube was very uncertain, and it was very time consuming, to be honest with you. And I tell this to a lot of people. You want to make your side hustle your full-time? Treat your side hustle like your full-time, and it will become your full-time. So I was working 40 hours a week at Barney's, New York, and I was working probably 30, 40 hours a week making videos. I was like 70 hours a week working, but you know, a good portion of that was making videos, and over time that became my dominant reality. You want that to become your dominant vibration? The way you do that is by putting more of your energy, harnessing your energy towards this quantum shift in reality. But step into the unknown. Go to that new yoga class. Go learn some type of new creative skill that you haven't learned yet. Become aware of this version of you and how fearless this version of you is, how confident this version of you is, and simply decide, that's who you are now. And you see, doing these uncertain things that may be quite different than the way you normally are is a step in that direction. That is a way that you affirm your choice. That is a way you affirm that new reality. So that's what I encourage you to do, is to pay attention to that version of you and to then have a vision for it and then to make a choice as that version of you. To make that choice, to decide that's who you are now, and from that point going forward, know that that is the case. But like I said, one of the most powerful ways you can go about this process is through that of using meditation. Meditation has been the key to me shifting my whole entire life. It is the key to shifting vibration, and especially to harnessing your own energy. So what I recommend you do is you do that meditation for 21 days that you see in the top of the description box below, and you simply become aware of how you've been harnessing your energy to be this certain way, and then decide that that was the old way. See that as the old story that you told yourself, the old way of being, and decide, nope, that's not who I am anymore. This is who I am. Affirm it with your actions. Step into the unknown. Be fearless. Have daily habits as that version of you. Make those daily habits your habits in this reality, and eventually they will trickle over until you embody in this. I call it being as if. Be this version of you now, knowing it's who you are. Don't act as if, because then you eventually go back to the old identity. Be as if that version of you, and watch your life begin to change. So, Hope you like this view. I hope you like how this video's outside. Let me know if you want me to do more videos outside as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.